try and keep this as short as possible. I can't quite sleep, so I'm going to chime in on here on this thing and use my powers of academic suspension and years on the internet and my highly tuned abilities to do research at the tips of my fingers, put that old post-secondary education to good use. And I don't think that's what happened here. I don't think people were putting their post-secondary education to good use in this scenario. Not one bit. If you watch the video, she is clearly being told by the agents with not only their body language, but also their posturing to de-escalate and to cooperate. Now, I honestly, I'm going to take the side of the agents. I'm going to side with the administration here, because when it comes to immigration or the mass deportation, if you listen to some of the reports in the popular news media, the claims are in defense of this woman. No matter who she was, no matter how good of a person, how virtuous of a Christian that she was, religion and your beliefs are not a substitute for your self-preservation. So if you want to send yourself to God via someone with a firearm, by all means, step in front of that gun. I'm serious. Step in front of that gun and we'll see what happens. I am not sympathetic. I'm not. And what's happening in Minneapolis is that Minneapolis has a very large Somali population. Right here in NPR. And it's been like this for a while. And there's been a lot of unscrupulous things happening, because it's come to the point at which the locals are now sick and tired of helping the Somalis. And this is happening in other parts of the world. I can think in particular of what's happening. I think it's Myanmar and Indonesia, somewhere in there. There's a large segment of a minority that's been displaced because of some sort of civil war. And what happens when people are poor and they start getting pressured is they start committing crimes. It's so fucking predictable. It's so predictable. And then everyone's running around saying, "Oh, it's racism. Oh, it's not their fault because we're gutting the government programs." Well, okay. The government has to make a choice, whether it's federal or it's at the state level. Do you maintain the operation of the government on a state level, or do you bend over backwards for people that don't have a historical connection to this land? Because that's what it comes down to. Loyalty comes down to an innate connection to a community and a geography. And in most cases, these people would rather just go home. I mean, if I was displaced from my home I would do everything I could to come back here. And I have done that. So, whatever your critiques may be, I dare you to cross a fucking continent. So, vehicles as being used as weapons has happened in the past, the not so forgettable past, in incidences during the height of BLM and Antifa demonstrations, in which individuals were using vehicles within their ownership and their control to run over crowds of people. And again, if you watch the video, she is non-cooperative and she steps on the gas aggressively, not out of fear. She does it out of aggression. And some of you will say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true. How can you prove that? How can you prove that?" You know, rest in peace, Rene. But you weren't very smart. He acted according to his training. Yes. Yes, exactly. And what's their training? Their training is to treat everything as a threat because they're targets. They're targets because they're representatives of the state and of the country. And it's what the interests of the state or of the country don't always represent or fall in parallel to the individual. I know a lot of people are not going to like that. But again, I got to tell you, if you fuck with police officers in the States, you will get shot. If you fuck with police officers in Canada, you'll probably get tased first, and then you'll get shot.